You know, national elections may get the headlines, but it's the local elected offices that get a lot of your tax dollars and impact your day-to-day in big ways, which is why elections next Tuesday are so important. 13 Idaho cities will be picking a mayor across the state of Idaho. Some they're familiar with already, and some are going to be brand new to the job. The latter will definitely be the case in Nampa, since current mayor Debbie Kling, well, she's decided this is going to be her last term in office. There are 4 vying for her position to fill her spot, and 2 of them joined us here last night for a debate, a chance to tell Nampons why it should be them. Well, in a city not unfamiliar with construction zones, Canyon County Clerk Rick Hogaboam and entrepreneur Eric Myricks laid out their vision for what growth in Canyon County's largest city will look like.
So what do you believe is the balance in terms of raising taxes, which is something we've heard in this economy? People are against, of course, they voted it down, but while funding the needs of the city? And we'll start with Mr. Myricks.
Again, I think that we should, consider trying to free up some money via a local option sales tax. I think people have to just come to a reckoning with the fact that we are so constrained. We just don't have the money to repair as quickly as we'd like to. So we have to find the money. And it is a very complicated situation. A 3% property tax, 5% for new construction, that really binds us. But here's a plan that I have. It's called Fix It First. I really think we should consider a Fix It First plan, which prioritizes repaving and pothole repair across older neighborhoods. I mentioned this earlier, and I'll come back to that again. A lot of people feel that their neighborhoods are being discarded, those who have been here 20, 30 years paying their hard-earned taxes. I think for, new developments, maybe our builders need to support more infrastructure. See, one of the things that people have to understand with the chip seal, the way that works, is if there's a crater underneath and you chip seal on top, the underneath is still a pothole. So is our repair methodology even the best method?
Mr. Hogaboam, rephrasing the question, how do you balance, a tax base that has been reluctant to approve multi-million-dollar bonds while knowing you need to pay for these roads?
Great question. That bond that was just last year, it fell short of the 2/3 supermajority that's required, but 57% of the people voted yes on it, but it fell short. So I think Mr. Myricks and myself, either of us would be happy with 57% of the vote on Tuesday, because it would mean we're the winner of the mayoral election. However, that bond getting 57%, we call it a failure, but I think you have over half the people saying they are willing to pay some level of property tax to alleviate congestion. I call congestion a time tax, because the worse it gets, the more time you spend at red lights and backed up. That's time you're not going to get back in your life. That's time that could be spent with your family. That's time that could be spent at the dinner table. That's time that could be spent, coaching your kid, soccer and baseball. So that time tax is going to get worse and worse. And so I think we need to quantify what the improvements can be. If someone's willing to pay $20, $30, $50 a year, and you can get back minutes, hours over the year, then that trade-off might be something that the citizens look. But on that bond, I mentioned Highway 16. That's something that I think we need to work with our state partners to see if we can find a solution to that. I would focus on Marketplace. There was Marketplace improvements on that. Marketplace, and not all the citizens know this, is in an urban renewal area. And usually urban renewal, you lay the infrastructure, you hope the growth happens. I would say in this sense, Marketplace has become a victim of its success, because the infrastructure, I'd say, is inadequate to accommodate all the growth. And so I would approach the Nampa Development Corporation, see if they would reconsider potentially spending some of the money, because they're getting way more money than they planned on, to invest in improvements on Marketplace rather than ask the whole city to pay for a bond.
And that was a look at just one of the topics we dove into last night with the candidates. You can see the entire thing right now on demand on KTVB Plus or on the KTVB YouTube channel.
Okay, so we mentioned those 2 of the 4 candidates that want to be mayor in Nampa.
Yes.
What about the other 2? Where are they?
So we have a long-standing tradition at Channel 7 when we have our televised debates that we have some criteria to qualify for debates, and that includes campaign finance. It's not the campaign finance in the sense of you have to show that you have a certain amount of wealth to qualify for our debates. It's more a metric of how much support do you have from the community, and this is a valuable way for communities to say, these are people we believe in, these are people that we support. So 2 of the candidates did not hit that financial component.
Okay.
So that's why we only had 2 of the 4 candidates last night. In full transparency, there are fair criticisms of the system.
Yep.
And I think as media and everything changes, we'll definitely be looking at that in future cycles.
Well, helping to understand what that criteria is hopefully helps people understand why we have it before. All right, thank you very much, Joe.